Ruben Amorim says it has been it's the best and the worst of the week of his life. To be fair, he's had a massive decision to make. He's had to make it. He's been given an ultimatum, and he did want to stay at Sporting in the season, but wasn't able to. The Sporting boss announced he will be departing the club to replace Erik ten Hag after the international break, and tonight he has a chance to get a big result over United's cross-city rivals Manchester City in the Champions League, which will be live on talkSPORT tonight. Here's what he's made of last week.
The worst and best week of my life. I don't have another way to explain. Very tough because I'm leaving a very good place, but I'm going to one of the best clubs in the world, so it has been very tough, but it's what it is.
It is what it is. Like he said, it is a tough decision to make. He made it very clear last Friday when he said he would be speaking. And when he did, it was very interesting, Dan, because what he said was that this isn't the first time his release clause has been approached for a couple of clubs. There's two clubs who wanted to pay 3 times as more as Manchester United did. He also made it known to the hierarchy there that whatever happened this season, he would be leaving at the end of the season. So remember when sort of last week he was like, it doesn't add up. Why? He clarified that. He said his plan was to always leave at the end of the season. He wanted to do one more season. So whoever he was, I want, like I say, for the story, I just want to say he turned down Liverpool makes me feel better. But I'm just going to say, we don't know that. But whoever he was talking to in the summer, it didn't materialise, and he made his decision that he wanted to stay on another season. And Manchester United have come in, and Omar Barada have come in, and he said that I wanted to stay to the end of the season, but I was told it's now or never. So in terms of going and get your man, you've made a mistake with Erik ten Hag. You've made a mistake by, keeping him on, giving him money. We know that. You've drawn a line under it. You've now earmarked Ruben Amorim and said, no, we're not willing to wait until the end of the season and just give it to Van Nistelrooy until then. It's now or never, and he's saying that's what's basically made him have to choose now, and he wanted to come to Manchester United.
Are you telling me, Flex, that you've had a dig at me earlier, so I'm going to come back at you now?
Yeah, go on.
The mighty Manchester United, glory, Man United. Yeah. He sounds like he didn't really want to come.
Oh no!
From what you were saying.
Well, no, it sounds. What do you mean? It's the opposite.
He said he wanted to stay at Sporting until the end of the season.
In
an ideal world, he'd have stayed at Sporting.
Yeah, exactly. But Man United went, no, it's now or never, and he went, it's Man United. I'm gone. What do you mean?
Oh, I think you made it sound.
That's a bit of a reach.
I'm not having begged to come to 13th place Manchester United.
Not to do the bullying thing, because Man United are a bigger club than Sporting, so I don't need to. That's not what I'm trying to say. But in reference to what you're saying, Man United have said, no, you come now or you don't come at all, and he's left. He's left his club, mate.
I'm actually joking aside. I'm really excited to see him.
Yeah,
really excited to see him in the Premier League. I think the results will improve. I like that he's got we don't know that he'll do this, but he's got a set way of playing, a set system that he's used previously that we all are speculating and thinking he'll use at Manchester United. I think the 3 centre-backs will absolutely suit Manchester United defensively, and with the options that they have at centre-back, I think that will be really smart for them. I think that will really help Manchester United. Wing-backs would be a slight concern for me, especially whilst Luke Shaw and Malacia are out. That left wing-back role, you kind of think someone's going to have to play there who isn't really a left wing-back. And we saw with England when they went to 3 at the back in the summer in the Euros, you need a proper left wing-back. England looked so much better when Luke Shaw came into that system than when they had Trippier there or Saka there in various games. So I think that is a problem. It's just how do you fit all the attacking talent that Manchester United have into that system, especially the 2 that play after striker, because I'd say they're more number 10s than wide players.
Yes, that's going to be the biggest thing for me. Let's go through this team and what we think it can look like. Jamie Carragher last night had a team in that sort of 3-4-3 setup or 3-4-2-1 setup, with some interesting choices. A lot of what I thought would be, but this is what Jamie Carragher's team was. It was Onana and then 3 centre-halves of Yoro, De Ligt and Martinez. And then he has wing-backs as Mazraoui and Garnacho. Mm-hmm. And a central midfield 2 of Ugarte and Kobbie Mainoo. And then the 2 just behind the number 9 in Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford as sort of inside 10s, and then Rasmus Højlund up front. Let's go through it and see if we agree with that or we have any differences. So in goal, we agree it's Andre Onana, right?
Yep.
The 3 centre-halves, do we agree it's Lenny Yoro, right centre-back, De Ligt, central centre-back, and Martinez probably left centre-back?
I think that's got nice balance to it. I think that's got the makings of a really good back 3 for Manchester United. I think that's something that you can look to build on, because I think as much as we look at him from an attacking sense, got to get the foundation right first, and I feel with that foundation, Manchester United will be a lot better than they are right now.
Yeah, he has Mazraoui and Garnacho as wing backs. Garnacho was a left wing back, Mazraoui as a right.
Mazraoui and Dalot probably going to play an equal amount of games at that position. You probably know better than me whether Garnacho can do that. He's very industrious, isn't he? But
I can't see that happening.
But then does he fit into the other positions after striker?
He doesn't. But in terms of asking Garnacho to be a left wing back, putting in a higher volume of tackles,
could Diallo do it?
No, I don't think he's
the defensive
powerful
side
enough. Yeah, these are thoroughbred wingers. And listen, when a new manager comes in, you have to be open to things that you probably never thought of. But Ahmad as a right wing back or a left wing back,
no.
Anthony as a left wing back or right wing back, Garnacho definitely not.
You think definitely not?
Definitely not. I cannot see him as a left wing back at all.
That's a problem then, isn't it? Because you've got to try.
It is. Well, it's Mazraoui and Dalot, but the problem is at the top end of the pitch, and the problem is does he play with the three up front? Does he play a 2-1 or a 3? If he plays a 3, you can have Garnacho and Rashford
just not
out
what
wide.
He's done previously, is it? So
in some games he has. Sometimes he plays a 3-4-3, and
they're
sometimes
more narrow,
he plays,
aren't they? And the width comes from the wing backs.
Exactly, but I've seen games, not quite recently, where you got too high and wide and a striker. So it's whether he wants to make those tactical changes with the players he's got at present, because you can't just shoehorn players in. I worry about Rashford being an inside 10, like an inside foot. I
tell you who people aren't talking about who I think this system really suits.
Yeah.
Mason Mount. If he could just stay fit.
That is why no one's talking about it, Dan. He's only just come
fit
back
now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's come back into team training, but we've seen it before.
That's his kind of system now. Is he tactically very, very clever?
Him just behind the striker as an inside 10, like a prime Mason Mount, would fit. But he's been so far removed from that he seems a million miles off that. But this is what we're saying. With a new manager, with new ideas, with new sets, a new bit of trust in different types of players you just wouldn't have thought. Things change really, really quickly. Bruno, I can't see him playing deeper in a two-man midfield.
No chance, nor Mount.
It's not going to happen, nor Mount. So that would have to be Ugarte and Mainu / Ugarte and Casemiro, or Casemiro and Mainu, or whichever way round you want to have that. Yeah. And Eriksen, when he needs to play, he'll play there. And yeah, I just think between Rashford, Garnacho, Bruno and Ahmad, they will have to either adapt to being inside 10s, as you know, 2 number 10s behind a striker.
I think Ahmad could do it.
Or Ahmad, I think Ahmad could do that. You've
got to get Garnacho in that team, though. You've got to.
Yeah, he wasn't good against Chelsea. His end product isn't there, but he's raw, and there's things to work with him. And this is a learning curve, and this is what Ruben Amorim has to work out. Can he get them to do something completely different? You know, Garnacho doesn't play there. He likes chalk on his boots. He likes to see his fullback. He likes to attack his fullback, get crosses in the box or cut in and shoot. He's an orthodox winger, right? Rashford is the same. They don't particularly have the skill set at present to be playing in them pockets on the half turn, sliding people in, providing the. I don't see it. Garnacho's decision making isn't good enough at present. Rashford's decision making and how he plays isn't synonymous with playing that role. Bruno Fernandes will be fine in there. Mason Mount would be fine in there. So then all of a sudden, do we then start playing without orthodox wingers? And like you say, it has to be from the wing backs who give you that width, and we play narrow at the top end of the pitch, which would make Rashford and Garnacho null and void.
But football clubs have an on and off the ball system, don't they? So you're looking at the on the ball is the three at the back. And then Garnacho the on the ball would be Garnacho would be very high up. Martinez could almost shift across. Everyone jockeys along, and then it becomes the right wing back doesn't
most
maybe
teams
come
build
forward
up with 3 now anyway.
As much. So I can see ways in which it works that get Garnacho high up the pitch. Still, it's just the defensive side. But then I think with the 2 10s, you can suddenly become very hard to play through. If you've got your 2 midfielders at the base, and then you've got 2 number 10s playing off a striker with wing backs as well, you're suddenly quite hard to play through. And I do think the thing for me that's most exciting for Manchester United fans there is that back 3, because I think that's a really stable, confident back 3, all good on the ball, all offer kind of different attributes. I think that would be something. If you can get the foundations right, you will become infinitely a better side. That's what's not there.
It's the foundations, the patterns, the routines. That's the issue that Man United need to solve. Also, for me, Ruben Amorim has to come in And I know there needs to be a few tweakings of the system here and there and find out who can play his style versus not. But he needs to do that really quickly and establish a starting 11. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for consistency in approach. I'm looking for consistency in team selection. I understand within the first few games, you can't get that. He has to try. Maybe got to give Garnacho a go, see what it looks like. Maybe Ahmad, even Anthony. That nothing's unturned. Mason Mount, what does it look like? I get it. So I'm sort of saying 10 games. I want to sort of give him 10 games to ascertain what is the best way to go forward. Now, I understand that's not a transfer window. It's just with what you've got. And I think that's more than enough to implement something that's repetitive, implement something that the players can get their teeth into, and should give us enough as fans with some difficult games that we got. In this first batch of games, you've got to go away to Arsenal. Beginning of the year, you've got to go away to Liverpool. You've got Forest at home right now. That's a difficult game. But just before that, he's got Everton at home and Ipswich away, his first 2 games in the league. And, there's a platform there. If he can consolidate us and get us, solid and, like you say, get the foundations there, then I'll be a happy man. But he's got to... I'm not getting too carried away.
No, you've learned your lessons.
I've learned my lesson, mate. And even with this 3-4-3, and he's got a way of playing, and he spoke about very, very highly. That's what happened with Erik ten Hag. I went to experience it. I went to Amsterdam. I went to the game when they won the league, thinking, "Wow, look at this." And Ruben Amorim, his quote from last night said, "There's 3 big teams in Portugal, and then all the rest of the games you control the games." He said the Premier League is a different world. He literally said that, and I'm glad he said that because it is. When you've done things on the continent, it does not mean for 1 second that you can come here and teams are going to respect, especially this version of Manchester United. Teams don't respect Manchester United.
Mate, a prime example of the Premier League is Bournemouth at the weekend against Manchester City. Literally just went at it hammer and tongue, didn't they? They
got 7 points
back in
out of City, Arsenal and you.
Yeah, but they just
incredible.
They played the way they wanted to play, arguably controlled the game, but Bournemouth just went at Man City and they got a result. And that we've seen teams like Bournemouth go to Manchester United and do that. I do think, look, whatever happens, you won't be as bad as you have been under Ten Hag. Yeah, Ten Hag came in straight away and was like, I can't really play the way I want to play. I think the way Amorim wants to play, your players will be capable of doing that, but you just hope that the kind of same cycle doesn't rear its ugly head, because it's happened now ever since Fergie's left, where you think you see the shoots of recovery for Manchester United and you think, right, there's something to build on here, and then the same patterns emerge where it looks like the players don't want to play for the manager and fundamentally you don't have a tactical framework. I do think the tactical framework, that won't be a problem for Amorim at all. I do think he'll get that right, and you have to see where you go from there.